Good morning, I'm Jason Ellis, and this is TechVale News. Today is Monday, March 29th. Happy Monday. Hopefully you have a good week lined up, but here are your headlines from over the weekend to know going into your workday today. Our first news story of the day, Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment have tapped Randy McKinnon to pen the film adaptation of Static Shock. This is being produced by Michael B. Jordan and Reggie Hudlin. Randy, I think, is a good screenwriter. I don't think he's a great screenwriter. He wrote the movie Safety, which is now on Disney Plus, and I thought that movie was a B minus. I love Static Shock. I grew up with the cartoon, so I'm very excited about this title. So I truly do hope it gets executed to the level that it deserves. So we'll see, obviously, in the future what happens with it. But as of now, Randy is brought on to write the adaptation. Just some Hollywood gossip, I guess you could say. At CAA, long-term agent Jay Baker was immediately fired, and what came out was based on a not positive joke towards Jewel Keats Ross, who is a manager. I guess what happened was Jewel was reaching out to Jay to see if he could get a copy of Voyagers, which is not a released movie yet, to potentially cast one of their lead actors. And Jay essentially said no, but unfortunately the way he said it was almost like, you're like a crack addict asking me to do this, and he sent a clip of Menace to Society to Jewel. And a way Jewel took this information was as a derogatory position, and therefore went back to Jay going, this is not okay, which 100% this is not okay to do, especially in today's climate. You don't do off-color jokes. So because of this interaction, Jay was released from CAA, and he has a lot of big clients. No news of what happens with those clients, if they're going to follow with him, where he's going to end up, but this is just a great example of watch what you say. This is, yes, Hollywood, we all have fun, we enjoy our lives, but this is still a business, and you have to respect everyone around you, men, women, black, white, Asian, whatever it may be. You should always be cognizant of what you're saying to others, because you may be saying it in a way that you think is funny and silly, but then when you actually think about what you said, it could be taken in a negative light. So just essentially a unfortunate warning for everyone out there too. You still need to be cognizant of what is happening in the atmosphere and in your personal business. Ron Moore, who created Battlestar Galactica and most recently For All Mankind, has been tapped by Hulu to write the pilot script on the project A Court of Thorn and Roses, and actually has a pretty proper penalty against it. And if you don't know what a penalty means, essentially if they don't order it to series, they're going to pay Ron Moore more money. So this is something that is being teed up as essentially what they're trying to do as a Game of Thrones rival. It is a epic adventure political romance project about a huntress from the human world who has to go to the fairy world to essentially make peace between the two communities. But of course, an ancient curse comes up, and then the king of the fairies and the huntress must come together and save both worlds. I hope this does well. I will say fantasy projects recently have underperformed besides Game of Thrones, and I would say The Witcher, but Carnival Row didn't do well for Amazon. Noughts and Crosses for Peacock. I don't know anyone who's talking about that. That said, The Magicians did well. There are other fantasy projects, and Ron Moore is a great creator. Curious what happens. I'm a little hesitant of fantasy feature series recently. I don't know this book series, so we'll see what happens essentially. Continuing on the let's keep rebooting things into a limited series vein, there is now rumors and talks that Ally McBeal is going to be relaunched as a limited series. Calissa Flockhart is supposedly already on board to reprise her role. David E. Kelley was the original creator. He's on it as executive producer. From what I'm told, they are looking for a female showrunner to take over the mantle, and David would essentially just be there to guide, to make sure we're hitting the right tone of Ally McBeal. It's another reboot. It just keeps on going. Hey, we have an own IP. Let's bring it back. Yada, yada. I don't find this news exciting. I know there are Ally McBeal fans out there, but once again, it's just showing the need for content that streamers do need. There is no home for this project yet. I guarantee it's going to get picked up probably by Hulu. But still, the fact that there's once again a reboot when there's spec scripts out there, there's writers, chomping at the bits. Hollywood needs some originality, and it's really not coming across. And it should be coming across in TV. Features, I get it. You want the guarantee hit, you need the money influx, yada, that's fine. But on TV, you shouldn't be resting on your laurels. That's the place to really make things because the budgets are more a check. Not knocking Ally McBeal, just knocking these limited series reboots. Discovery Plus is trying to hit those younger audiences to come to the streaming service by the creation of Chopped 420. This is taking the Chopped format, which it's, four chefs given a mystery basket. They have 20 to 30 minutes to make a dish. This is taking the Chopped format and infusing cannabis into these dishes. Ron Fuchs is going to be the host, who I think is very funny, so I am excited to see him to host it. Judges include Esther Choi, Luke Reyes, and Sam Talbot. It's going to start airing on April 20th. I like Chopped. I always feel like these cannabis shows are a little bit more of a, look at us, we're being different. That said, Ron's funny, Chopped's a great format, so why not capitalize on it? In some fun news, the Motel from Schitt's Creek is officially on the market. It is based in Mono, Ontario, which I believe is 50 miles outside of Toronto. It is called the Hockley Motel and is being listed for $1.6 million. Prior to Schitt's Creek, it was listed for $825,000. So obviously the owner is going, hey, if someone wants to convert this into the actual Schitt's Creek Motel for tourism, here's your opportunity. So if you're interested, you should do the research and reach out to this guy and try to get the motel for yourself. Not too many stories for us over the weekend, but enough to start the workday. I'm Jason Ellis. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, hopefully with some more active news. See you in the morning.